Namaste everyone. Today I'm before you to present a lecture talk on introduction and scope of biophysics. Let us go through this introduction and scope of biophysics. Okay, in this unit, I'll be covering introduction, what is biophysics, bridging science, what do biophysics do, what do biophysicists do, data analysis and structure, computer modeling, molecules in motion, neuroscience, bioengineering, nanotechnologies, biomaterials, imaging, medical applications, ecosystems. Okay. Then we'll also go through where do biophysicists work, then biophysical techniques. Now let's get started through introduction. Okay. Biophysics is an interdisciplinary science that applies approaches and methods traditionally used in physics to study biological phenomena. Biophysics covers all scales of biological organization from molecular to organisms and populations. Now let us understand what is biophysics. Biophysics is the field that applies the theories and methods of physics to understand how biological systems work. Biophysics has been critical to understanding the mechanics of how the molecule of life are made, how different parts of a cell move and function, how complex systems in our bodies, for example, the brain, circulation, immune system, and others work. Biophysics is a vibrant scientific field where scientists from many fields, including mathematics, chemistry, physics, engineering, pharmacology, and material sciences, their contributions will be more. Use their skills to explore and develop new tools for understanding how biology, okay, in connection with the all life works. Okay, so to understand the biophysics nature, in this biophysics we need mathematics or mathematician, chemist, physicist, then engineering people, and also pharmacologist and material science people we need to understand how this biology works in our life. Then biophysics, the bridging science. Here, physical scientists use mathematics to explain what happens in nature, whereas life science scientists want to understand how biological systems work. These systems include molecules, cells, organisms, and ecosystems that are very complex in nature. Biological research in the 21st century involves experiments that produce huge amounts of data, right? How can biologists even begin to understand this data or predict how these systems might work? So biophysicists are uniquely trained in quantitative sciences of physics, mathematics, and chemistry. They are able to tackle a wide array of topics ranging from how nerve cells communicate and to how plant cells capture light and transform it into energy, and also how changes in the DNA of healthy cells can trigger the transformation into cancer cells. Okay, and also so many other biological problems we may face. Okay, we need to solve all this through biophysics, which bridges the science, both physical science and biological science. Biophysicists work to develop methods to overcome from disease, eradicate global hunger, produce renewable energy sources, design cutting edge technologies, and they also solve countless scientific mysteries. Okay. In short, biophysics are at the forefront of solving age to old human problems as well as problems of the future. These are the some of the work by biophysicists. Now we can also see in our biophysics data analysis and structure. Here the structure of DNA was solved in the year 1953 using biophysics methodology. And this discovery was critical, showing how DNA is like a, a blueprint of for life. Right? We say, right, DNA is the blueprint of the living organism. So we'll be able to find answer through this biophysics. Now we can read the sequences of DNA from thousands of humans and all varieties of living organisms, right? Biophysical techniques are also essential to the analysis of these vast quantities of data. Now let us go through here computer modeling. Biophysicists develop and use computer modeling methods to see and manipulate the shapes and structures of proteins, viruses, and other complex molecules, and also crucial information needed to develop new drug targets or to understand how proteins mutate and cause tumors to growth. Then molecules in motion. Here, biophysicists study how hormones move around the cell and how cells communicate with each other, right? Within the cell, they have their own connections and network building, right? How are they going to communicate? Biophysicists study how hormones move around the cell and how cells communicate with each other, right? So using fluorescent tags, biophysicists have been able to make cells to glow like firely or firefly or like firefly under a microscope and learn about cells' sophisticated internal transit system. Biophysics also play a very important role in neuroscience. Biophysicists are building computer models called neural networks to model, right? Here, how the brain and nervous system work, leading to new understandings of how visual and auditory information is processed. Again, you can see here bioengineering, nanotechnologies, and biomaterials. Biophysics has also been critical to understand biomechanics. Applying this information to design a better prosthetic limbs and better nanomaterials for drug delivery are possible. Biophysicists have developed sophisticated diagnostic imaging techniques, including MRIs, CT scans, and PET scans. Biophysics continue to be essential to the development of even safer, faster, and more precise technology and more precise technology to improve medical imaging and teach us more about the body's inner workings. Okay, and we can also see some of the medical applications, like where biophysics has been essential to the development of many life-saving treatments and devices, including kidney dialysis, radiation therapy, cardiac defibrillators, pacemakers, and artificial heart valves. Then ecosystems. Environmental biophysics measures and models all aspects of the environment from the stratosphere to deep ocean vents. Environmental biophysics research the diverse microbial communities that inhabit every niche of this planet. They track pollutants across the atmosphere and are finding ways to turn algae into biofuels. Then where do biophysics our biophysicists work. Biophysicists are teachers and researchers in biology, physics, engineering, and many other fields. They work in universities, hospitals, tech startups, and engineering companies developing new diagnostic tests, drug delivery system, or potential biofuels. Biophysicists develop computer models to find out why a new flu strain eludes the immune system, or they make 3D models of new protein structures to better understand how they work. Okay, and also they practice law in specialized fields like intellectual property, write about science for print and online publications, and work in government to advise legislatures. Those who are trained in biophysics have unlimited career possibilities. Okay, now let us go through biophysical techniques. The characterization of molecular structure, the measurement of molecular properties, and the observation of molecular behavior presents an enormous challenge for biological scientists. A wide range of biophysical techniques have been developed to study molecules in crystals, in solutions, in cells, and in organisms. These biophysical techniques provide information about the electronic structure, size, shape, dynamics, polarity, and modes of interaction of biological molecules. So the most exciting techniques provide images of cells, okay, and subcellular structures, and also individual molecules. Some biophysical techniques. Much of biophysical research involves either the development of novel techniques to investigate the structure, properties, and biological functions of biomolecules, or the applications of these techniques to monitor how the structure and dynamics of biomolecules enables specific biological functions. Here you can see some of the specific biophysical techniques: electrophysiology, hydrodynamics, microscopy and imaging, molecular modeling and simulation, single molecule techniques, spectroscopy, thermodynamics and related topics, chromatography, electrophoresis, centrifugation, and many more techniques. Let us go through here electrophysiology. For example, electrophysiology studies test the studies involves the test to the electrical activity of the heart to find where an arrhythmia, that is abnormal heartbeat, is coming from, or arrhythmia, that is abnormal heartbeat. Okay, to find out that particular abnormal heartbeat, we can use electrophysiology. These results can help doctor to decide whether a person need medicine, a pacemaker, an implantable cardioverter defibrillator, that is ICD, that is implantable, I for implantable, C for cardioverter, and D for defibrillator. Okay, cardiac ablation or surgery. These studies take place in a special room called electrophysiology. That is, in short, we can say EP lab, or catheterization, that is CAT lab, while you are mildly sedated. Hydrodynamics involves a study of the behavior of large biomolecules. For example, in proteins, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids, when they are in solution, they're complex and directly related to molecular size, shape, and flexibility. The analysis of hydrodynamic behavior thus provides important information about the structure, dynamics, and interaction of biomolecules. Let us now go through microscopy and imaging. The most accessible developments in biophysics have involved improvements in our ability to generate images of cellular and molecular structures with dimensions from microns to nanometers. It is now possible to see individual molecules or cellular structures using atomic force, electron, or confocal fluorescence microscopy. Now let us go through here some web resources for microscopy and imaging. A delightful and extensive site appropriate for middle school to college, university levels, containing a photo gallery of microscopic images, or a detailed primer on the basics of optical microscopy, as well as historical and educational information on optical microscopy. Nikon microscopy, an extensive and well-organized site with information on the fundamentals of confocal fluorescence microscopy and its applications to biological systems. Content provided by various experts and site maintained by Nikon USA. Atomic force microscopy, that is atomic force microscopy measuring intermolecular interaction force. Okay, another one, magnetic resonance imaging offers information on the biophysical foundations and medical applications of one of the most versatile of medical imaging tools provided as part of the breakthroughs in science series of FASEB, the Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology. Here, next one is molecular modeling and simulation. Visual and numerical modeling and simulation play important roles in the analysis and prediction of protein and nucleic acid sequence and three-dimensional structure. In the calculation of molecular dynamics also can be seen, then in the simulations of specific biochemical mechanisms, among other important tasks. You can see here signal molecule techniques. The most exciting development in biophysical technique in recent times involves the ability to manipulate single molecules and measure their properties and biological functions both in solution and within cells. Here about spectroscopy, the interaction of electromagnetic radiation, X-rays, ultraviolet, visible and infrared light and radio waves with molecules provides a wealth of information about the structure, dynamics and functions of biomolecules and biological processes. Here you can see fluorescence spectroscopy and magnetic resonance spectroscopy most commonly studied. Now let us go to thermodynamics and related topics. Thermodynamics and statistical mechanics. Thermodynamics generally starts with the several basic concepts and leads to different thermodynamics laws. A thermodynamic system is a quantity of matter which is defined by its boundary. In this chapter, after a short view of thermodynamics laws, nanothermodynamic and thermodynamic properties of nano-sized system are presented. Electrodynamic, that is van der Waals forces, then calculation of biochemical net reactions and pathways by using metric operations. Okay, just you need to study basic information here, not in detail. Next one is chromatography. Chromatography is an analytical technique commonly used for separating a mixture of chemical substances into its individual components so that the individual components can be thoroughly analyzed. There are many types of chromatography: liquid chromatography, gas chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, affinity chromatography, and high performance liquid chromatography, then paper chromatography, then thin layer chromatography, many more. But all of these employ the same basic principles. Here now we can also focus on electrophoresis. Electrophoresis uses an electric field applied across a gel matrix to separate large molecules such as DNA, RNA, and proteins by charge and size. It means charged molecules move under the influence of electric field. Okay. Samples are loaded into the wells of a gel matrix that can separate molecules by size and electrical field applied across the gel. This field causes negatively charged molecules to move towards the positive electrode. The gel matrix itself acts as a sieve through which the smallest molecules pass rapidly, while longer or larger molecules are slower moving and they'll be very near to the wells. Centrifugation serves for separation of particles using centrifugal force. Actually, it is considerably accelerated sedimentation to separate most of the solutions. While particles are separated according to their density by effect of gravitation during sedimentation, much bigger centrifugation acceleration influences them in course of centrifugation. The separation of the mixture is therefore much faster. Centrifugation can be used to remove solid particles from a suspension in the most simple applications. Removal of blood clot or blood elements from the whole blood can serve as an example. Centrifugation is also useful for the separation of a mixture of non-miscible liquids. It is one of the best tools for the separation of most of the components according to their densities. At high speeds that can be reached in high-speed centrifuges and ultracentrifuges, even individual fractions of cells from a cell homogenate can be isolated. It is also possible to separate macromolecules in a mixture. This is about some of the references. You can have a look. You can take a screenshot or you can pause video and you can go through all these reference book. Thank you for watching. I, Dr. Pratibha K, signing off for today. Stay tuned with me. I'll be back with some more interesting your subject videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you.